Hey, what's going on, boys? It's FXG Gaming. I know it's been quite some time since I actually made a video, so this is the next installment of the Life of a Cleric video. I figured I'd do one after the double refinement came out. That way I could do the changes that I want and talk about the changes that we're going to be making in the near future. Also talk about loadouts. And I figured what better character to do a video about loadouts than the cleric, since the cleric's changes in the last mod update. There's two different clerics now. There's a DO, a Divine Oracle, and then there's the ACDC cleric, the Anointed Champion. Two that have both great abilities in their classes. That's why a lot of high-end groups are running both a DO cleric and an ACDC cleric in their 5-man dungeon group. We'll get into why the DO cleric is needed, but we're going to talk about the changes I made during this double refinement. I'm swapping over to a DPS DO cleric because of the passive ability, and popping hollowed ground is pretty much the only thing you have to hit, along with some other abilities I will go over with you in the powers section. That's why you'll see the Kestel Sphere here, the Heart of the Black Dragon, and the Sigil of the Controller. I will be switching over to the Orcus set when the Orcus wand drops out of the new lockbox coming out on the 20th. So the belt, the Tiamat belt, and the Tiamat orb will be on the new loadout for an ACDC cleric. Because of the power, because of the recovery, because of the set bonus, we're going to put that set in the loadout slot for the ACDC cleric, along with swapping it out with the Orcus set, because the high ends are going to do DPS. The high end DODCs are going to do DPS because they're really not needed outside of the passive and the Prophecy and Anvil of Doom. But that also does DPS along with the buff. So with that being said, I will switch over to the Abeloth set here. I'm working on it now. So this set here will go along with the ACDC loadout, and it will be swapped out with the Abeloth set for the DPS. Everything else will kind of stay the same as I get more, item level and get FBI unlocked and MSP unlocked. I'll start upgrading the armor. Right now it's basic. Right now the enchantments are 8 above, because again, I don't want to go out there and switch everything over from my main to this and then make a video. That's not the purpose of this series of videos. It's the purpose of showing other people how to go about upgrading their character and make improvements throughout their career on Neverwinter. It's not about high-end 4K cleric build that I could push out, but I don't want to, because lower level people aren't going to learn from that. Lower level people are going to look like, wow, I got to get this, this, and this, and this, and this, not knowing what it takes to get all that stuff, not knowing what it takes to get all the relic gear and all the, relic weapons upgraded and all that. They don't know what it takes to get all that. They don't know the time and the effort and the grinding it takes to get all that. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put out a series of videos slowly upgrading this cleric and showing people how to. With that being said, we're going to go to powers. We're not going to talk about the at wills. I'm running Astral Seal. Hollow Ground is what is popped every time you get a daily. As you see there, as you can read, a damage buff and damage resistant buff right there. For this should be the first point. You put your 4th point in once you hit that cap. Once you hit everything at 3 and you start getting extra points, put the 4th point on Hollow Ground. As we go down, I'm running Divine Fortune here for more divine power. I'm running Daunting Light here as a encounter, along with Prophecy, Doom, and Forge Masters. You'll hit Prophecy of Doom and regular, and then you'll switch over to Divinity, and you'll hit a fully empowered Forge Master's Flame. and then you just rinse and repeat. If you guys want to see a rotation video or tutorial about a DODC, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to put one out. Bring the Sun is because, again, we're going to be swapping over to DPS, and this is the passive ability that you really don't have to do anything to get. The whole group at 4 out of 4 will be getting 20% damage increase. This again will be another stat you'll put a 4th point in, maybe the first one outside of Hollow Ground. I'm not running Divine Glow and Break the Spirit because 9 times out of 10, if you're running dungeons, you're not the only DC. Unless it's like tier 2s and you're just doing salvage runs. But high-end groups, the first DC, the ACDC, you're just going to run Divine Glow and Break the Spirit. These do not stack, so there's no point of me running these when I can run Forge Master's Flame and Prophecy of Doom. So the first cleric, the ACDC cleric, will run this, and then I will run Prophecy of Doom, Forge Master's Flame. With that being said, you really don't need to know much outside of that. Some people are running Geese just so they can Geese bosses so it doesn't move. I know some of the high-end bosses like to jump around and move from side to side and all that good stuff. It is legal to use Geese to freeze the enemy. You can actually freeze the enemies pretty well if you are in your rotation well enough. Feats, I'll probably make a couple of changes to the feats now that we're finally respecing or finally going to a DPS. As some of you know, that the clerics changes from last mod increase a bunch of the encounters and at wills damage by 30%. Again, that's why most of them are switching to DPS DOs. We have 5 out of 5 in Healing Action, 5 out of 5 in Domain Synergy, 2 out of 3 in Toughness. We have 3 out of 3 in Repurposed Soul, and 4 out of 5 in Bountiful Fortune, and 1 out of 3, in Cleanse. We are going to the Righteous Paragon. There's a lot of healing in these feats and powers and stuff. Again, once I get a fully understandable concept of the DPS DO, I will start switching out the corresponding feats and powers and stuff like that to go along with that. But right now, as it sits, it's Astral Fury maxed, Furious Intervention maxed, Weapons of Light maxed, Bear Your Sins maxed, Condemning Gaze maxed, and then Avatar Divine. And then we're going to the Faithful Paragon, and we're going to 5 out of 5 out of all 3 of these. Resounding Beliefs, Divine Intervention, and Gifts of the Gods. This will generate more power, more divine power, and everything else. Again, a lot of these are healings because of I'm still stuck in the healing DODC cleric instead of the DPS. But again, I will switch a lot of these powers and feats out as I become more comfortable with the class. Boons, as you well know, I have a great weapon fighter that I spend most of my time with, but here soon, once I get the rest of the superior marks, he's going to be 4-3, and I'm going to be working more on this cleric, more on the boons, more on the getting better gear, getting better companions, getting better mounts. So when I go to the companions and mount section, please do not leave me comments saying what I should be getting, or that why am I putting out a build without the proper companions and mounts. It's the premise of me making a video showing people how to upgrade and what to upgrade and all that good stuff. So with that being said, these companions are still set up for a ACDC cleric. I'm going to swap out the 2 sprites and the owlbear cub into the loadout slot for the ACDC. And with that being said, the sprites are going to become earth and air archons, and then the owlbear cub is going to become a siege master. That's going to be my DPS. These 3 here that I just told you are going to be ACDC. I'll probably keep the Aranese for the crit severity and the Con Artist for the debuff and the offensive and the rings, because it's the easiest equipment to find in the game. Again, I'm not going to transfer everything over, but I will transfer the bondings over because I'm not spending enough refinement getting 2 sets of rank 12 bondings when I could be putting that refinement into the cleric. With that being said, that's the changes and adjustments we're going to be making to the companions. If you think I should make other adjustments outside the Air, the Earth, and the Siege Master for DPS setup, let me know in the comments below. The mounts as well. Some of these are good. Shepherd's Devotion, Protector's Friendship, Persuasions are all good. Really don't kill much in this game with a DODC, so we're going to be swapping out these two. I'll still have this for when I do dailies. Still a great source of refinement, but for DPS and dungeon standpoints, you're not going to be killing anything. You might get 1 or 2 drops throughout the whole dungeon, so I'm going to switch these two out, probably with another DPS. We'll go over that when the time comes. Maybe a Shepherd's Devotion would be a nice one. Maybe another Camaraderie. We'll go over that and the bonuses when it comes time. Other than that, I know how to do it, and I know where I'm going with the build. When June 20th comes through with the loadouts, we'll have a better understanding of what we're doing with this class, and maybe by then I'll fill out the companions, the mounts, and get the DODC and the ACDC loadouts correct, and then maybe I'll make a video of that when it comes out. With that being said, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this this build, this loadout discussion, whatever you have you. Again, please leave comments and remarks down below. Let me know, if I'm going about it the right way, if I'm not going about it the right way, or if you want to talk about something else that I might have missed or didn't discuss well enough. By all means, leave it down there below, but don't criticize the quality of this video because I'm not pushing out in-game content, or I'm not pushing out a fully stacked build, because that's not the purpose of this series of videos. I will leave a link in the description below of my old build, and I will also leave a link in the description below of my Twitch stream. I stream daily. I stream about, I'd say 20, 30, 40 hours a week, probably closer to 30 to 40 hours a week, mostly Neverwinter. So by all means, come by, stop by, hang out, ask questions, join the community, ask about the giveaways we're going to be doing in the next couple weeks and the next month, and a big one in September. So that's it with this one, and this is Frank signing out. Thank you guys.